गोपीजनवल्लभा गिरिवरधारी यशोदानन्दन व्रज जनरञ्जना यमुनातीरावनचारी यमुनातीरावनचारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jai Prabhupada. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Srila Prabhupada, Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. हरिनाम संकीर्तन की जय गौरचंद्र भगवान की श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय. So this is Srimad Bhagavatam, first canto, chapter 11, text number 38. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Etad īśanam īśasya prakṛti-stho tad-guṇaiḥ na yujyate sadātma-sthair yathā buddhis tad-āśrayā etad īśanam īśasya prakṛti-stho tad-guṇaiḥ na yujyate sadātma-sthair yathā buddhis tad-āśrayā etad īśanam īśasya prakṛti-stho tad-guṇaiḥ na yujyate sadātma-sthair yathā buddhis tad-āśrayā. etad īśanam īśasya prakṛti-stho tad-guṇaiḥ na yujyate sadātma-sthair yathā buddhis tad-āśrayā etad īśanam īśasya prakṛti-stho tad-guṇaiḥ na yujyate sadātma-sthair yathā buddhis tad-āśrayā etad īśanam īśasya prakṛti-stho tad-guṇaiḥ yujyate sadātma-sthair yathā buddhis tad-āśrayā etad īśanam īśasya prakṛti-stho tad-guṇaiḥ na yujyate sadātma-sthair yathā buddhis tad-āśrayā. Word-to-word translation. Etad, this. īśanam, divinity. īśasya, of the personality of Godhead. prakṛti-sthaḥ, being in contact with material nature. api, in spite of. tad-guṇaiḥ, by the qualities. na, never. yujyate, is affected. sadātma-sthair, by those who are situated in eternity. yathā, as is. buddhiḥ, intelligence. tad, the Lord. āśrayā, those who are under the shelter of. So translation purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Translation. This is the divinity of the personality of Godhead. He is not affected by the qualities of material nature, even though he is in contact with them. Similarly, the devotees who have taken shelter of the Lord do not become influenced by the material qualities. Purport. In the Vedas and the Vedic literatures, Shruti and Smriti, it is affirmed that in the divinity there is nothing material. He is transcendental, nirgun only, the supreme cognizant. Hari, or the personality of Godhead, is the supreme transcendental person situated beyond the range of material affection. These statements are also confirmed even by the Acharya Shankar. One may argue that his relation with the goddess of fortune may be transcendental. But what about his relation with the Yadu dynasty and being born in that family? Or his killing the non-believers like Jarasandha and other asuras directly in contact with the modes of material nature? The answer is that the divinity of the personality of Godhead is never in contact with the qualities of material nature in any circumstances. Actually, he is in contact with such qualities because he is the ultimate source of everything. Yet, he is above the actions of such qualities. He is known therefore as Yogeshwara, or the master of mystic power, or in other words, the all-powerful. Even his learned devotees are not affected by influence of the material modes. The great six Goswamis of Vrindavan all came from greatly rich and aristocratic families, but when they adopted the life of mendicants at Vrindavan, superficially they appeared to be in wretched conditions of life, but factually they were the richest of all in the spiritual values. Such Mahabhagavatas are the first great devotees, although moving amongst men, are not contaminated by the honor or insult, hunger or satisfaction, sleep or wakefulness, which are all resultant actions of three modes of material nature. Similarly, some of them are engaged in worldly dealings, yet are unaffected. Unless these neutralities of life are there, one cannot be considered situated in transcendence. The divinity and his associates are on the same transcendental plane, and their glories are always sanctified by the action of Yogamaya, or the internal potency of the Lord. The devotees of the Lord are always transcendental, even if they are sometimes found to have fallen in their behavior. The Lord emphatically declares in the Bhagavad Gita 9.30 that even if an unalloyed devotee is found to be fallen due to previous material contamination, he is nevertheless to be accepted as fully transcendental because of his being engaged 100% in the devotional service of the Lord. The Lord protects him always because of his rendering service unto him, and the fallen conditions are to be considered accidental and temporary. They will vanish in no time. ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूप कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरोः श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगना रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनासहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान् सहगना ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च नमो ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिन्मिति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषशून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे नमो महावदन्याय कृष्णप्रेमप्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्णचैतन्यनामिने गौरत्तुषे नमः। हे कृष्ण करुणा सिन्धो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कान्त राधा कान्त नमोऽस्तुते। तप्त काञ्चन गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। Hare Krishna. So I seek blessings of all the devotees. That I really need the blessings today. That I can speak something on Bhagavatam, some glorification of Lord, and as a service to all of you. Hare Krishna. So here the point is spoken about how Lord is unaffected by the material qualities. Even though he appears to be he comes in this material world, but still remains unaffected. Yeah. So, just by seeing, Lord Krishna already told in Bhagavad Gita that Janma Karma cha me divyam. His Janma and Karma both are divya, it's divine, but it appears like externally looking very like mundane, like seeing his behavior, like when he was killing demons. Sometimes some people may misunderstand, oh, it's just like out of anger, Lord is doing that. Or also sometimes we see like Lord Ram, when Mother Sita was not there, out of separation. So yeah, he was like roaming in the forest. Where is Mother Sita? Oh, Sita, where are you? Where are you? Like somebody is running after, like he has lost his wife. So people may misunderstand that. See, just like people of this world, they also get disturbed when they are separated from their spouse or wife. Same way here, Lord is also getting affected. Or we see highly misunderstood pastime of Ras Leela. People misunderstand, oh, he is also getting affected by the lust. Or we make you the example of even like as a childhood Damodar Leela pastime, where we may say, oh, he is a god, then how is that he is fearful of his mother? He is affected by the fear. So like this, many, almost like many pastimes of Lord are there, which is like from mundane point of view, from material point of view, looks like Lord is very much getting affected by the things. But that is not the case. Lord is not getting affected. Yeah. Like in case of Lord Ram searching after Mother Sita. So there also, seeing that Mother Parvati also got somewhat surprised or kind of bewildered, that how is that Lord is affected by just like a materialistic person. So Lord Shiva told, you go and test, you see. So she comes to test Lord Ram. She comes in disguised as Mother Sita in the forest. As soon as Lord Ram saw her there, Lord Ram's, he says, "Oh, Mother Parvati, how come you are here in the forest? Where is Lord Shiva?" So that time she realized, no, he is not bewildered. Yes, so every pastime you can say how it is not the case that Lord is affected. It is Lord's greatness misunderstood as Lord's weakness. So that's a very important thing. People misunderstands Lord's pastimes. That is His greatness. He is coming and out of love, He is behaving or doing pastimes in a way. So in this world we see getting affected, the people, like Prabhupada also says in the purport that it is not at all astonishing to see person getting affected in association of money and woman. So that way then many times we also hear in case of Kanaka, Kamini and Pratishtha. It's very difficult to handle. But we can see from the example of Lord, when He is there in this material world, He is not affected by these things. We say opulences. He killed Vali, and then instead of he becoming the king, he installed Sugriva there. You become the king, you rule. Later on, he killed Ravana, and then Lanka is full gold. It is not just gold plated, but solid gold. Lanka is gold. But he gave that to his brother Vibhishan. He did not take himself. Yeah. So many pastimes. Only Lord Krishna also. He killed Jarasandha. Jarasandha's point is coming here. In Purport Prabhupada says about Jarasandha. He is killing Jarasandha. But he did not become the king there. He installed his son. Later on, he kills Kansa and he makes Ugrasena as a king. He was a very faithful servant under Ugrasen Maharaj serving him. So like that, we see he is not getting affected. He is not himself taking it, all those things. So then, in case of Kamini also, how he handles the famous pastime of Narnarayan Rishi. When they were started doing penances in Badrika Ashram. So there, Indra, he felt kind of insecurity. Whenever somebody does any kind of austerity, the demigods, they feel insecurity. Maybe my position, if he performs very nice penances, then my position will be gone. What will happen to my post and position? So Indra sent holy party with Cupid, and they come down with so many apsaras, and Cupid created very nice atmosphere, very nice atmosphere where fragrant flowers and cool breezes, and then the apsaras dancing around. So when Lord opened his eyes and seeing Lord unaffected, these demigods really got fearful. And then Lord called them near, come here. Then they were out of fear only. I was seeing yesterday the photos. The photos very nicely drawn by devotees. So much fearful. Apsara is also fearful. And then Cupid, he is also very fearful because he could not do anything to Lord. And then he started offering prayers. My Lord, you are a supreme personality of Godhead. You are beyond all these illusions. You will not be bewildered by these things. Kindly, what to speak of you, even your devotee also don't get bewildered by these things. Like anyone who starts performing in a kind of penances, practicing maybe Krishna consciousness, the demigod is the test. So there the Cupid in his prayers is telling, but my Lord, all these devotees are protected by you. They take your shelter. That's why they get so much strength that they can step on the head of these obstacles and come to you, cross ahead. So like that we see such, your devotee also don't get affected by whatever bewilderment we create. then what to speak of you? So kindly don't take our offense very seriously. Forgive us. So like that they offer prayers, and then Lord forgives them. And then Cupid and all, they could see that from Lord's body so many of amazing beauties, the apsaras were coming out from the Lord's body. And seeing that and their beauty, their bodily fragrance and things, Cupid and then other apsaras were feeling very shy. In front of them we are nothing. So there then Lord told, oh, you can take one of them, whichever you feel good, and offer this as a gift to Indra from my side. So they chose one, Urvashi, and they took, and keeping her in front out of respect, went back to Indra. And then there they told the whole story. Indra also became very fearful that I did something, could not understand he is the Lord himself, and I was trying to bewilder him. But he understood, oh, he is a Lord. So maybe I did a big offense. But he was happy with the gift. They accepted. Like this we see he is not affected by the Kamini. And what about the Pratishtha? Very difficult to live. So we see in case of Pratishtha also, Lord has no any issues with that. Like as Lord Ram, he was having friendship with Guha. Yeah, any forest dwellers like monkeys. In fifth canto, the prayers also comes. Kim Purushaloka prayers. There also they say ki, what was our qualification? We are just forest dwellers, monkeys. Nobody likes to have monkeys around, yeah, as a decoration of their house. Yeah, they don't keep. They other animals, but not the monkey. But here, Lord, you accepted us, and that too, you accepted us as a friend. You accepted our friendship. So, how great is you? How great you are, that even though you don't need our help or our friendship, but that's your greatness, you're accepting us as a friend. Then Lord becoming the driver of his own devotees. Yeah, later on we see the pastime of Bali Maharaj also, where he becomes the doorkeeper of Bali Maharaj, and he becomes like so much indebted. He feels so much indebted to Bali Maharaj that he feels that, oh, Bali Maharaj, I will serve Bali Maharaj by becoming his doorkeeper. I will be there as his security guard. And later on, there was some issue. Demigods or some other devotees wanted some help. So they come searching for the Lord all the way down to Bali Maharaj. And then they ask, Lord, there is some need, please come. He says, no, I can't go from here till my master gives me permission. We are so much like actually feeling, not like just sake of doing it, but actually feeling indebted towards Bali Maharaj. So like this, Lord has no any issues with this, handling these things. He doesn't get affected that way. But whereas we see by his presence, the material nature gets affected. Yes. Like Kunti also offers prayers. Tava vikshatai, whatever opulences I am seeing, we are seeing in our this material nature, our kingdom. Everything is by your glance, because you are glancing. Therefore, earth is producing so many grains, fruits, minerals, and the pearls, and so much of natural opulences which are there. In the purport, Prabhupada very nicely says the opulences are not because of the industrial development, but this natural opulences, and we cannot manufacture also as such this natural opulences. Yeah, they are like God's gift, and all those things are coming because the Lord is glancing upon them. Yes, by the mercy of Lord, it is coming. Like in this world also, we see like some days back only I was there in Shivajinagar. So there, the whole main road, the University Road, almost for like 15-20 minutes, it was whole road on up to Shivajinagar was blocked, or some minister was going. So that way we see here also, like some big person comes, then things accordingly manifest. Yeah, recently for now, Dindi inauguration is going to be there, 21, 22nd something, in Dehu. So there they are like already started preparation, because one big politician is going to come there. So already they started cleaning things and cleaning whole of that area and making proper roads and all the arrangement. So that's how we see when big person is coming, the accordingly down things are adjusted or modified. So like that we see when Lord is coming in this material world, Accordingly, material nature also makes arrangement to welcome the Lord. Yes. So that's how we see when Lord Krishna was going to appear, all the planets and stars, they arrange themselves in a way that they become like create like auspicious atmosphere for Lord to come and to welcome the Lord. So whatever best they had, they were like making arrangement for the Lord. That's how we see it is not that Lord getting affected, but because of Lord, the material nature is getting affected. The things around in the material nature are getting affected. Yeah. Like sometimes people also have misunderstanding when Lord comes in this material world. Two kinds of misunderstanding people they have. Like suppose some prime minister visiting jail, prison house. So there are also two kind of misunderstandings people they have is now prime minister is coming to jail and I also came to jail. This person also came to jail and he is a prime minister. I also came to jail. That means I'm also prime minister. Or the second kind of misunderstanding is I came here because I did some kind of like criminal activities. Some gadbad I did, therefore I'm here. And he also coming here means he also must have done some kind of criminal activities, therefore he is also here. But both things are not right. Both things are misunderstandings. So the Lord is coming out of free will, but whereas a criminal is forced. Yes. Karmana daiva jantur deho. He's forced by his karma to come here and accept particular mother, father, particular kind of bodily structure and the situation, the circumstances around. He's forced, even though he doesn't like it. Yeah, that's suffering. He doesn't. Whatever he likes, he doesn't get, and whatever he doesn't want, he gets it. So that's like a forced upon him, but that is not the case with the Lord. Yeah, he comes out of his own free will to come here and perform his pastimes. But out of ignorance, what is something divine, people take that as something very mundane. Yeah, like generally we give the example of college boys that something like Lord's paraphernalia, the people take it very cheaply, don't value it. But the handkerchief of some girl, they take it very seriously. They take it like very safely, keeping it inside. Oh, very divine. But don't know what all things that lady must have done with the that handkerchief. So that's out of ignorance. The Lord's pastime is considered as something very mundane, and our own time pass is considered as very something divine. People want to record it, keep a photograph, selfies, and keep it in the album. And there are many softwares also. They will tell 1 year back what you're doing. That it comes in mobile also. 1 year back you were at so and so, and these are your photos. So what time pass I did, that people consider very important thing. But what something Lord is doing, the divine pastimes. So people take it very cheaply. Yeah, of course, Lord also gets affected. It is not that he is a stone, he doesn't get affected. No, he is not a stone or impersonal light. He is also a person. He does affected. He does get affected. But he gets affected by, yes, the amazing behavior of his devotees, like we see in case of Kardam Muni. Seeing his austerities, Lord was having tears in his eyes. So in case of then Pruthu Maharaj also, like that 99th yagya, 99 yagyas are completed, the 100th sacrifice. He was like completing, but Indra was creating a lot of issues, lot of problems. But when Brahmaji comes and tells Pruthu Maharaj, he did not go to Indra, but comes to Pruthu Maharaj and tells, you please don't do these sacrifices unnecessarily. Indra is getting agitated and created so many apasampradayas, not good. So actually it is not so easy to stop, because like lot of physically we may stop, but a lot of already mental planning and energy is put inside. The last moment like somebody says to stop becomes very difficult. Initial beginning of project somebody says stop, then okay, no issues. But almost like project is about to complete one sacrifice is so difficult, and here 99 are completed, just one more is remaining. He would have said like okay, let me complete that one and then I'll stop. No, Brahma told stop here, he accepted. Okay, I will stop here. No issues, no problem. Seeing such amazing surrender, obedience of Prithu Maharaj, Lord was supposed to come after completion of 100 sacrifice, but Lord comes before only. And Lord became so affected because of behavior of Prithu Maharaj that he could not even stand properly. He puts a hand on the shoulder of Garuda, taking his help that to stand. So Lord also to get affected by the behavior, the amazing behavior of the devotees. Yeah, so that is about the Lord. And also here in the purport, similarly, the devotees who have taken shelter of the Lord do not become influenced by the material nature. The one part was about the Lord. When Lord is there in this material world, he doesn't get affected. But here we see like the other part, the purport also, Bhagavatam says about the devotees. That devotees also, what to speak of Lord, even devotees also don't get affected when they are here in this material world. So it was Bhagavatam 11th canto, second verse, 49th, second chapter, 49th verse. That speaks about how Madhvacharya gives the commentary on that. So there in the purport, in the commentary, he says how different people in this material world are experiencing miseries, and because of what all things, in like very nice analysis he has done. Whatever miseries people are experiencing, he very nicely makes the analysis and presented in an analysis way. He says that these are the results of different misidentifications in this material world, creates different kinds of miseries for the people. For example, somebody who is identifying with the body, then he'll experience a drowsiness, unquenching desire for the sex, and that's how a person loses completely peace of mind, serenity in the mind, and gets earns that kind of miseries. But somebody like second class, when a person is identifying with the prana, they will experience intense hunger. When somebody is identifying with the mind, then he will experience a fear, hankering, which ends in disappointment and also panic. Then when somebody is identifying with the intelligence, buddhi, then profound existential bitterness, frustration deep within the heart. These are like happy faces and crying hearts. And somebody, when he identifies himself with the false ego, then always there will be issues with comparison with others and inferiority complex, low self-esteem. You'll experience this. And when somebody is identifying with the process of consciousness, the consciousness, then he'll be haunted by the memories of past. So all these kind of miseries are there, are the identification of a person with what he's identifying himself with. Yes, instead of having that true identification, he is having all kind of misidentifications with body, mind, intelligence, or false ego, or consciousness, or other thing, or prana, and then different kinds of miseries he is earning through those things. And very nice sentence towards the end, Srila Madhvacharya he adds. He says, anyone who is trying to lord over this material, then all these six will attack him simultaneously. And he is like trying to lord over the material nature. All these conditionings will attack him simultaneously. So how horrifying, how horrifying. And that's how current day and age we see the propaganda is going on. Even if some person has no desire to lord her, but he is giving inspiration through media and other places. He is given inspiration. Why don't you lord it over? Why don't you do it? You can do it. You are a man. You should do it. Possible. कर लो दुनिया मुट्ठी में. So with a lot of slogans and a lot of things, he is told, you do it. And that's how the person earns all these six things in his life and experiences a lot of miseries in his life. Yes. So, so in the same purport, like our Vedic Shastras, they are divided into different kand sections, divisions. Yeah, in the technical language, they say kanda. So there is like a Jnana Kanda, Karma Kanda, many kands are there. But Lord Chaitanya has given very special thing, special section. It's called Sankirtan, yeah, Harinam Sankirtan. So that is, Lochandas Thakur says, this is Keval Ananda Kanda. Special Kanda. This is not Karma Kanda or Jnana Kanda. This is Keval Ananda Kanda. Ananda Kanda. So that's a very special thing Lord Chaitanya has given for the understanding the condition of the soul in this material world, that he can't do the things what is there in the Satya Yuga, Dwapar Yuga, Trita Yuga. Those things are very difficult. Seeing the Prayena Alpa Ayusha Sabya, Kala Vasmin Yuga Janha. Manda Sumanda Mate, Manda Bhagyati Upadrataha. Manda Bhagya. And always on top of that, always disturbed by so many things, so many distracted. Yeah. So therefore, this Lord Chaitanya's Sankirtan movement is very important. And here, then this actually all these layers and layers and layers of ignorance or misunderstandings can be easily removed by chanting the holy name of Lord. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So this easy process given by Lord Chaitanya will help us to remove all kind of this misidentifications, identification with the body, mind, intelligence, ego or prana, all this. It will help us to remove this identification and establish us in that true identification that Jivera Swarupa hai, Nitya Krishna Das. Yes, Lord Chaitanya also says, Naham Vipro na Chanarapatir, Napi Vaishyo na Shudro. So he says like towards the end, the Gopi Bhartur Padakamalayur Dasa Dasanu Daso. Yes. So in Jagannath Puri, the Rath Yatra, which is going to be soon now, the Rath Yatra, 1st of July, it will be there. So those days, Lord Chaitanya was there, and Prataprudha Maharaj was not getting an opportunity to come close to and get an audience of Lord Chaitanya. So by the help of devotees, they arrange a special arrangement for him, and all planning was done by the devotees for him. That during Rath Yatra, Lord will take some gap, and he will go to Jagannath Vallabh garden, and he will rest there. So that time you go there and serve Lord Chaitanya, and you can sing Gopi Git. So that's how he gets an audience appointment with the Lord Chaitanya, and they're going there. He serves, massages the lotus feet of Lord Chaitanya. Lord Chaitanya is like very deep sleep. And now here Pratapadra Maharaj starts singing the Gopi Git. And there Lord Chaitanya becomes so happy hearing, he says, Bhurida, Bhurida, you are that special devotee helping me remember Radha and Krishna. So there he asks, who are you? So there Pratapadra Maharaj also says, Raja kahe ami tomar dasera nudas, bhrittera bhritte kari yai morash. So there he never says that, oh, from so many days I was actually looking for an appointment with you. You did not give. So here by the mercy of devotees I am here. Actually I am a king, Orissa king. So kindly give your mercy to me. No, but he very nicely, and that way he comes dressed. He doesn't come as in a kingly dress. He comes very ordinary dress. And then his consciousness also is like that. He's not presenting and coming in front of Lord that I am a king. Please give your mercy to me. ऐसे कैसे mercy नहीं दे सकते, देना चाहिए. Not demanding, but one sense kind of commanding by his behavior. The way he approaches the Lord with such consciousness that I am not king, but I'm aspiring to a devotee. I'm not devotee also. I'm aspiring to be a devotee of your devotees. भृत्य भृत्य कर यही मोरा आश, ये मेरा आशा है कि हमारे आपके भृत्य का भृत्य, आपके दासों का दास बनने का ये आशा है. अभी तक दास भी नहीं बने, दास बनने का प्रयास कर रहा है. Yeah. So that's how he shares that the actual identification, the right identification is I'm not body but spirit soul. And furthermore, this soul, I'm a soul but also a part and parcel of Krishna. I'm a servant of Lord, not servant of Lord. That's how, like in long back, One of my friend during my college days was asking, so I heard you have become Prabhu these days. When are you going to become Prabhupada? And what about Mahaprabhu? So people, they put their material consciousness on this side also. That you become M1 level of manager, then you become M2 level of manager, then you become M3 level of manager. So for them to understand this ulta calculation becomes very difficult. Yeah, the spiritual calculation, what the calculation Lord Krishna has. First is das, then dasanudas, and then dasanudas. Gopi Bhartur Padakamalayora dasa dasanudas. This very difficult understanding for outside people. But that is something which is aspiration of a devotee. Yeah, like even Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, anyone who comes to meet him, he used to ask, who's there? He says, maybe I'm a Krishna Das. He says, oh, actually I'm busy, I don't have time. We'll meet tomorrow. But somebody is saying that I'm not Krishna, but I'm a servant of Lord's devotees. Then he used to say like, oh, I have full time for you, please come. I have whole time available for you. Yes. So that is the mood of servant. And then Narottam Das Thakur, many times Prabhupada in his purport, many places he has repeated these words of Narottam Das Thakur. He says, Deha smriti nahi yar, sansar bandhan kahan tar. He don't have even Deha smriti, that I am this body. But then what to speak of the further things, the bandhan, the sansara bandhan? Nothing. Yes, like Prabhupada in the purport is telling the example of getting affected by this material nature, means person is affected by honor, dishonor, sleep, wakefulness, and hunger, satisfaction. These things is getting affected. But we see how example of like Jad Bharat, where he was like so much insulted. Yes, not just like honor is not given, but he was insulted. Full, so much of so low level of insult by his own family people, giving him leftover food items for eating, not given his share of property, and he was made to stand like a what is that, crow, scarecrow. Yeah. So like a full insult. And later on we see forcefully he was caught by Rahugana and put as a servant to carry his palanquin. That becomes like even more so much insulting. But he did not get killed by those things. He continued his, he was very much focused with his Krishna consciousness. So such absorption. And we see by his absorption in Krishna was so much that instead of he getting affected, Rahugana got affected. Immediately jumped from the palanquin, offered obeisances. Sorry, Prabhuji, I was not knowing who are you. I misunderstood you. Yeah, like such great souls in a disguised form roam throughout the world. What is my mistake that all of you behave also like that? That externally very difficult to understand, whether you are a great soul or a ordinary soul. Very difficult to understand. But I offer obeisances. Please forgive me. I did not do it intentionally. So that further whole pastime comes. Yeah, that's how we see one place in the purport, first canto purport, Prabhupada speaks about the qualification of speaker of Bhagavatam and the audience. He says if a speaker is professional speaker and audience is materially absorbed, then there will not be a desired result of hearing Bhagavatam. Whereas the speaker has to be in a parampara and not interested into like money, but he is always focused in his purpose is spirituality. He is happy that I got an opportunity to serve Bhagavatam, speak Krishna Katha. And audience also is very much eager for their spiritual advancement. They have that utkantha. Yes, utkantha means like utkantha. That kantha also like up, and that eagerness is there that I want to hear. We want to develop, grow in spirituality. So if that is there, then there will be a result of, actual result of reading Bhagavatam will come. So that's how we say when magnet is really powerful, even if iron filings are rusted, still they'll get attracted. Yeah, like in case of here Jad Bharat, or we see the example of Srila Prabhupada also. Yes, Many fear that getting into Western countries will get affected, and that's what we see. People getting into going to Western countries really get affected in their thought process, in their behavior, their lifestyle. Everything gets affected. Similarly, like people told to Prabhupada also that you may have to change your lifestyle. But Prabhupada did not change. But he was so powerful and he was so fixed in his service to his spiritual master that after getting into West, seeing him, his convictions, his behavior, other people got affected. It is not that Prabhupada got affected, but the other people got affected by his behavior. They started doubting their own culture, they started their own lifestyle, their own life. And understanding Srila Prabhupada, getting affected by Srila Prabhupada, they adopted the lifestyle of Srila Prabhupada. Yes, and started chanting Hare Krishna, shaved completely, became like a perfect gentleman. Yes, perfect gentleman. And following Srila Prabhupada that way. And not just following, but dedicated their life to serve Srila Prabhupada. One of the slogan what they were having was that don't believe above 30. Anyone who is above 30 years old, we don't believe them, we don't follow him. But here Prabhupada was like a double than that, 70. They are not just listening from Prabhupada, not just following him, but dedicated. They are not like YouTube follower, Facebook follower. They are pakka follower, pakka dedicated followers of Srila Prabhupada, dedicating their life in the service of Srila Prabhupada. So that much they got affected by the association of Srila Prabhupada. Yes, that's what here Bhagavatam is telling. What to speak of Lord, but here even his devotees, they also don't get affected by the material nature, but the other people around, they get affected. Yes, like we see in case of Lord, there are things getting affected in association of Lord, the people are getting affected because of Lord, the animals are getting affected because of Lord. Like Jharikanda forest, Lord Chaitanya was roaming around. Seeing him, animals also joined him in his Sankirtan party. Yeah. So what to speak of course, there is no difference between Lord and the Lord's like Krishna Katha. So we have example where people, when they are sitting in Krishna Katha, they experience non-envy. The envy will be removed from their heart. Yes. So here we see the example of where people are getting affected by hearing Krishna Katha. Yes. What to speak of Lord? People are getting affected. Yes. People, the material nature getting affected. Things are getting. Things when Lord was playing his flute, the thing which was supposed to be standing was flowing. And something which was supposed to flow was standing. Yamuna is supposed to flow. But as soon as Lord is playing flute, she was like still standing at one place, hearing. And the stone was like melting. So that's how the things getting affected. So, so how can, of course, we have example of now upcoming Chidadai festival, Raghunath Das Goswami. So Raghunath Das Goswami, when he met Haridas Thakur, he got so much affected by the Haridas Thakur that materially speaking, Raghunath Das Goswami is like a son of a king, such a millionaire, multi-millionaire, and only son. And here is Haridas Thakur, he was not having his own apartment also, his own house also. He was living in some caves, no material property, nothing, Nishkinchan, kuch nahi hai. But seeing his absorption in Krishna consciousness, Raghunath Das Goswami got so much affected that he was thinking, I also want to have what he has. Completely experienced a detachment from his own material things and was attached to Haridas Thakur and was very much eagerly looking forward to get what Haridas Thakur has. So that's how the people in this material world get affected by the association of pure devotees. Yes. So for us also, if we also want to remain unaffected by the material nature and material modes, Lord Krishna has already given these things in Bhagavad Gita 14.26. He says, Mam cha yo vyabhicharena bhakti yogena jasevate sagunan samati taitan brahma bhuyaya kalpate. So one is unfailingly engaged into Lord's service. No matter what happens, we should not leave our service. That's the connection between a disciple and a guru, the service. Though whatever happens, we should continue with our service. then Lord Krishna has already given the assurance, will not be affected by three modes. Yes. And also be busy doing Krishna Katha. Yes. Lokanscha lokan gatan pashuncha hitva shitaste charanatapatram parasparam tad-guṇavādasidhu piyusha niryāpita deha dharma. People, those who are busy drinking Krishna Katha, they could easily give up the needs of body. Yes, they have given up their stereotyped lifestyle of common public and busy engaged in hearing Krishna Katha. Then could easily overcome their bodily needs. Yes, so therefore be busy doing services, and also we should be busy hearing Krishna Katha, not wasting time. So like that, it will help us also to overcome this modes of material nature. Hare Krishna. So we'll stop here. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Granthara Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Hare Krishna.